Good morning, everybody. It is wipe day with patch 13.5, and we've got patch notes. So let's not waste any time, get you caught up and dive right into them. So first up on the patch notes page, which I'll put a link down in the description for you guys if you want, we've got Kaban. They talk about Kaban. He's the new boss. He's on streets. He's at Lexos. He's heavily armed with the new belt-fed guns, of one of which being 7.62 by 54R. So yeah, you're screwed if he shoots at you. He comes with a lot of guards. Some are for military. They've got a strong defense organized for them. They'll use the mounted guns, the AGS, all of that stuff. There's snipers on the rooftops. And local scavs will help defend. So if you engage and there's other scavs around, his guards essentially grow by the local AI scavs, which those might not sound too dangerous, but when one walks up behind you, it's usually a bad day and kind of ruins things. So just keep that in mind when you're fighting him. It doesn't look like you're going to be able to loot his rig, but everything else will be lootable. That's according to Nikita, who's on the Hunt Showdown podcast right now with them talking. That is cool, because it's not like Tagilla where he can't loot his hammer. It doesn't sound like there's anything you can't loot from other again than his rig. Next up is kit presets. This is a huge win for a lot of folks. They're going to love it. So basically, what's going to happen is you're going to be able to save a gear preset and then equip it. The player, you can name it. Obviously, you select one you want to equip, see in contents, weight compared to other equipment stats. That's cool because you can compare overall stats of equipment. I really like that. Just an added feature onto the ability to be able to throw in kits quickly. We'll get more view of this once the patch goes live. It's divided into 2 tabs, equipment and pouches. So basically what your equipment's going to be and then what's going to be inside that equipment. Now, the equipment is assembled from matching items in the player's stash. If the player does not have enough items in this kit in the stash to assemble the kit, the missing items can be purchased from the merchants on the flea market. So it's going to be kind of like your weapon preset screen, I think, where you're going to build your gun. And then if you hit preset, it'll throw all the attachments on that you have, and anything you don't have, it'll go buy it from the market, which is good. And you can create up to 50 custom gear sets. So good luck filling all those out. I run maybe 10 sets all in, besides just random gear. So 50 should be more than enough, which is cool. I'm glad they didn't do like 2 or 5 or 7. They gave us plenty to deal with, and which is good quality of life stuff. Random container spawn. This is the one that had me the most worried, and these patch notes kind of take away that worry for me. It says containers will now spawn at random points. The number of spawn points for containers has been increased on all locations. So even though they're random, there's going to be more loot containers. And the way I understand it, loot containers having their own loot pools and stuff, this means that there potentially is more loot on each map. Could be wrong about that. That's how I'm reading it. Maybe we can get a clarification from Apple or Nikita at some point, but that's kind of how I read it. Now, the large wooden crates, some Terra Group crates, large cash registers, and file cabinets will always spawn at their respective locations. So that means that there's some things that are kind of integral to the way the map is set up. I'm thinking of like some of the green crates in dorms, some of the tan crates like out at Lighthouse, things like that are, I say tan, but gray crates, that they can't move because that's where they're supposed to be kind of by map design. So they're always going to be there. So that's good. So there's going to be some stuff that's always there, some stuff that's not. It's going to be a fun thing to explore and figure out as we get through the wipe. Next up is the sidearm quick swap. So this is going to be when you've got a holstered weapon, the hotkey is pressed twice. The character will swap weapons quicker. This action consumes arm stamina. This action consumes arm stamina, and if it is insufficient, the weapon equipped in the hand will tremble. Upon training weapon mastery and corresponding with the weapon type skill, the amount of arm stamina consumed on quick swapping will decrease, and the speed of action will increase. So it's the whole meme, it's faster to switch to your secondary than reload. Wasn't always true with Tarkov. Kind of was, but pistols, yeah. Anyways, we got quick swap now. I think this is going to be good. I'm going to start running pistols every raid to give it a shot, see how well it works. I think when you do survive, because a lot of times you just don't survive long enough. You die in the first mag that gets shot at you. But there are instances where you don't, and this could come in super handy. Now, as far as improvement of peaceful behavior of bots, this is wild. They cranked the AI scavs to the 9s as far as how they're going to act. There's a lot of stuff added here, which means that there's probably going to be some buggy stuff with them, but we'll figure it out. They added routes for looting containers by scavs on the streets of Tarkov locations. So this means that instead of the scavs kind of being in their areas, you know, whether it's at Lexos, at construction, or at the convoy or wherever, it sounds like they're going to move around and kind of loot a little bit. So it's going to be even harder to tell the difference between an AI scav and a player scav, which I think is fun. I think that's cool. I think that adds an interesting immersive dynamic, not being able to tell the difference between an AI scav and a player scav. It says the barrel of the bot's weapons oscillates up and down slightly during peaceful walking. Peaceful routes of bots now have slight deviations from straight line between points, mimicking the player's movement. During combat or in case of danger, bots return to the ready mode. So instead of the bots walking around constantly at low ready, what is it, low ready? I think it's low ready. Where we normally see them, it sounds like they're going to have an even reduced state when they're not aggroed, which is cool because you can tell if a bot's aggroed or not based on how you're looking at it. They reduced the reloading speed of low difficulty bots. So if you don't know, there's basically, I think there's 3 tiers of difficulty of bots. Easy, medium, and hard, if you will. So the low difficulty bots won't reload nearly as fast. Bots can no longer rotate instantly. Now to rotate by a significant angle while prone, the bot assumes a sitting position and continues firing. So a sitting position, I don't know if that means crouching or like mid. I'm not sure what they mean by sitting position. So if they are prone, they can't just spin in place anymore. They gotta get up and move to change position, which is cool because that bot's pivoting prone, like their worm in the sand as a pivot point, is kind of annoying. Anyways, bots now search corpses and take weapons, rigs, backpacks, whatever contents they like for them. So this is new. Bots are going to be looting dead bodies, which, you know, there's a lot of interesting dynamics in here. You know, shooting a couple of AI scavs and letting one loot them and then shoot that one as a loot pinata. Or as a player scav, it's going to be annoying because now AI scavs are going to have loot on them from bodies that they looted. And it goes on and it says it will drop the backpack and rig next to the corpse. Contents taken by bots are not refundable by insurance. So this is something we were always curious about, is if a scav picked up your gun, for example, you know, your buddy's gun as a PMC, and you just let it go and you didn't kill it, do you get it back in insurance? Well, that is answered now. Contents taken by bots are not refundable by insurance. So if your buddy gets looted by a scav, you better go find the scav because that gear ain't coming back. On top of this, bots can share an item with a player playing as a scav by calling out to them, which is cool. You could ask for help. You could ask for ammo. I don't know how this is going to work. It's going to be kind of like Santa Claus, which furthers the idea that Santa Claus was a test bed for scav mechanics. It should be interesting to see how you can interact with AI scavs and get help from them. They improve the visibility of bots at dusk. Now it corresponds more correctly to the change of light level. Flashlight still gives better visibility at this time of day. So bots see better based on the time. Once it gets dusk, it doesn't become dark for them instantly, and their sight range goes down. And it sounds like flashlights do help them see better. Keep that in mind. And then they corrected spawn time when playing with a scav as a scav on all maps. Not sure what that means as far as corrected spawn time. Does that mean they're earlier? Does that mean they're later? I'm not sure. Bot groups. The AI scav group system has been improved. Now a group of scavs that will operate as a team will spawn at a certain chance. They are going to be better organized in combat and are essentially small gangs. So this kind of makes me think of like a small group of scav bosses. So they're going to be regular scavs, but they're going to operate kind of probably at the level of scav boss, maybe not that high, and they're going to roam around and be a pain in the ass. I think it's cool. It's a super cool dynamic. It's like a mini boss you could potentially run into as a PMC, or even as a bad scav. Commands to bots. When playing as a scav, new commands to bots are available to the player. The chance that a bot will execute a command depends on the reputation with fence, just like it has before. But there's new commands now. So help. When this command is used, all bots with a certain chance and in significant radius will go to the player and engage in combat with the enemy. The enemy on. I'm not sure. Bad translation there. Spread out with a certain chance that the bots with a reasonable radius will take cover and spread out over the area. Take cover with a certain chance the bots next to the player will take the nearest cover. Quiet with a certain chance the bots in reasonable radius will stop talking and start listening. With a certain chance the bot next to the player will stop. This is for stop. They will stop for a short time, look at the player, and then continue moving. So you can use stop to actually send other commands so that they're like walking away from you, assuming they listen to you. And then follow when playing as a scav can be given not only with a gesture, but also with the phrase follow me. So that's interesting. I don't know if that's I can't imagine your VoIP follow me and they listen to you. My guess is it's the actual voice line that you can get to inside the command prompt stuff. Not command prompt. What is it? Y? I can't remember. Quality of life. The user interface of the trade quests and Ragavan servers has been redesigned. This is huge. The user interfaces are completely overdone. I can't wait to dig into this and see how well they work. Less clicks. It's going to be a lot less clicks, it looks like, to get around. The player can now quickly equip or replace an item with any of the available items in the stash via drop-down menu by clicking on the character slot. Let me open up a screenshot here real quick, if I have one, this is an old one of my stash or something, maybe a loot run I got. So over here we have your body armor. I'm guessing there's going to be a drop-down menu now, and anything in your stash you can put on. This is fucking amazing. This is awesome because you don't have to hunt through cases to find a helmet or a ears, and you can just bury stuff and you easily get to it. I think this is awesome. I imagine it's going to kind of look similar to the weapon preset system. So super cool addition, super cool. The FPS meter no longer overlaps the raid timer. Biggest reason I never run the FPS timer is because of that. So I might run mine now more often simply because it doesn't overlap with the raid timer and screw everything up. Double clicking on consumables automatically uses them. Huge quality of life. So food, meds, all this stuff. You double click, it uses it, and that is no more dropping golden stars or stims on the ground on accident because you're right clicking and you drop instead of use. You know what I mean? You can turn on the tactical device of the helmet. Default is H key. I'm going to be rebinding mine because H is my VoIP. And maybe I just rebind my VoIP. I don't know. H is your headlight. You're going to be able to put a flashlight on your helmet now, or maybe even a laser. I don't know what good a laser will do, but it's there. And turn that on and off using the H key. The list of available mods for the Obscure helmet and 6P47 has been expanded. So this is the flashlight. You used to only be able to put one flashlight ring on, and that was it. Now it looks like there's going to be a lot of other stuff you can put on there as far as mounts. When holding the 4 through 0 hotkeys when using the first aid kit and other medical supplies, a drop-down list of body parts to treat will now appear. So this is the ability to, like, let's say you're all jacked up and you hit your 4 is your grizzly med kit. You'll be able to see all of your body parts, your bleeds, your broken limbs, anything that's going on, and then select which one you want the grizzly to heal. So if you've got a light bleed and a break, you don't want the grizzly going to that. You want it to heal your chest. You can do that without like going into your menu, dragging over. It's cute. I love this. This is great. This is going to be so much better in the middle of fights. It's going to take some time to get used to, but I'm super happy about it. They added new images to the loading screen, so that's cool. New loading screen images. Check those out once we load in. The gun stand. This is super cool. This is more stash space. A new module weapon stand has been added to the hideout. The stand has 3 levels of pumping. But I think that means 3 levels of upgrading. I'm not sure how they get to pumping, though. That's funny. Maybe somebody in Russia knows why that translation is. I don't know why that makes me giggle. Maybe because I'm a fucking infantile idiot. But each level can hold a certain number of weapons. Level 1 through 108. Level 1 is 108 cells. Level 2 is 132 cells. Level 3 is 182 cells. Only weapons with all critical components can be placed on the shelves of the weapon stand. So this, you can't put like a weapon that's got missing its a red weapon, right? The weapon's got to be completed. You can't put a weapon without a handguard on there, or sorry, not yeah, handguard on some weapons. A pistol grip, things like that. It's got to be a completed weapon. So it's going to give you more stash space. This is fucking super cool. I can't wait to see this. We'll get it upgraded as soon as we can in the hideout. I'm kind of excited for that. I think it's a cool feature because you can be able to show off your guns too in your hideout. Something I've always kind of wanted to do or have the ability to do with certain trophies and things. Quick sale of Scav's gear. A sell equipment button has been added to Scav's gear transfer screen. We saw this in the patch. Basically, you can pull off what you want when you do your Scav. And like, let's say you got just random crap and no room in your stash. One button, poof, it goes to Fence and sells everything, which it also looks like it says include currency that Fence doesn't normally buy. So Fence might buy euros and dollars. So if you don't want euros and dollars, they'll just give you rubles for them. So that'll be an interesting exchange rate to see what that actually is. So keep that in mind. Improve the display of the crafting process, added animation to color, indication of the icon on module where the craft is in progress. Finished craft is now displayed first in the module list. So when a craft is finished, I'm guessing it hops to the top, which is super handy. Even with the favorite stuff, having the finished craft at the top of the screen means you don't have to scroll to find it. Super good idea. Clicking on the component craft counter takes you to the module that has already picked for picking up the item. That's cool. So see how that looks. Just for those of us that like to craft and play around in the hideout, you know, us hideout mains, guys that don't know how to play Tarkov, and we just do hideout stuff. This is a huge up for us. All right, so for graphics and performance, the visual effect of anesthetic has been changed. So I don't know if they said they were getting rid of the sharpening effect for painkillers. That's what this is, but they said they changed it. So I don't know if they put something else in there or what they did. This will be interesting to see what they came up with. But streamers rejoice. No more sharpening nonsense with painkillers on that makes your stream look like shit. New technology of fog rendering has been implemented on Streets of Tarkov. This is cool. We'll see how that comes up. Added a new culling system for Lighthouse location. This should help a ton for people on Lighthouse as far as performance. For me, once we get out to Lighthouse and we like doing some of them insane long shots, it's going to be very interesting to see what bugs out and what doesn't. So I'm going to be interested in giving that a try on Lighthouse. Improve the culling system for Streets of Tarkov, increase the accuracy and performance of the system. Just more improvements to make Streets run better, hopefully, and not look items flash in and out when you kind of can't see them. We'll see. Jury's out. We'll wait to see how that works on Streets. Optimization of resource consumption by the sound system. So this is further optimizations of binaural audio, Oculus audio, using up your system resources. It's been a problem all last wipe. I ran probably the first month without it because it had a huge drag on your system. So hopefully that's getting better. New weapons and equipment. We got the SVT-40 and AVT-40. These are 7.62 by 54, semi-automatic and fully automatic. Think a bastard child between a SKS and a Mosin in the game. People that know these rifles are going to freak out. I'm not trying to say IRL. I'm just saying for practical purposes in the game, it's like you're jamming Mosin ammo into an SKS. So keep that. They're going to be very dangerous. Awesome, cool rifles, but super dangerous for anybody on the receiving end. AK-12 assault rifle. Just another AK. We'll see how good it is. The PKM and PKP light machine guns. These are the belt feds, so super cool to see those. I believe you're only going to be able to get them off Kaban, but we'll see. Maybe they show up elsewhere. Hard to say. Rigi sawed-off shotgun. Kind of a cool little super short barrel, double barrel, maybe throw it in your rig and hotkey it, backup kind of weapon. And the PM and PB pistols have been updated. I think that just means to do with animations and stuff, so that's kind of cool. We got new ammo, 300 Blackout CBJ. I've said this for a while. Blackout needs more ammos. Interesting to see what the CBJ turns out to be, where it falls on the list. I didn't go Google it or look up any of the stuff. Some of it I know kind of what it is. I'm not quite sure off the top of my head though. 12 by 70 Piranha. I'm guessing that's a new kind of flesh damage shotgun shell. 4x6 30 millimeter. This is the MP7 ammo. It's JSP, which is jacketed soft point. So that is going to be somewhere in the middle, lower middle range. It won't be quite as bad as the hollow points or probably subsonic. It'll probably be above that, but not quite as good as FMJ. I'm guessing right now. But then we got a ton of 7.62 by 39. We got Full Metal Jacket, SP, PPGZH, that's in the 54R. So those three new rounds. FMJ, just think of them kind of like the 5.56. FMJ is going to be somewhere between PS and 7.62 by 39 PS and 7.62 by 39 HP. SP is going to be kind of in the middle there, but lower. And then PPGZH, we'll see what they put it. The PPGZH usually falls in Russian stuff as a kind of an armor piercing round, but an older armor piercing. So my guess is maybe better than PS, but not as good as BP. Hard to say. Well, once we get the patch, we'll look at the stats. But that's kind of where I see it in my head. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong, but that's just based off of my general knowledge. 7.62 by 54R, FMJ. Not sure where these are going to fall. My buddy Tower, he would know more about this. He loves this round. But we've got HP, which will probably be a flesh round, which we've never had before. Same thing with SP. So it's going to be interesting to have these flesh rounds for 7.62 by 54. I'm guessing to do with, these have more to do with the machine gun. This is what the machine gun's going to run, but you'll be able to put it in every round. And the BT means it's got a tracer on there as well for these two at the bottom. So 2 more tracer rounds that you can use. And then 9x19 FMJ MMA-A2. So this is another 9mm round. On the, I want to say armor piercing. It's not really armor piercing, kind of a mid-tier. So think between PST and PSO is where this should fall if memory serves me correctly. But we'll see. PSG usually sticks pretty good with the stats. Not 100% sure. Added a number of new weapon modifications, equipment models, things like that. So that's cool. We'll see what we've got out of all of the new attachments. They usually don't list them. Balancing changes, various balancing changes to characteristics of the ammo. So ammo is going to have a bunch of changes. We're going to have to look through trade changes, balancing of trade changes, balancing of crafts. So a lot of changes. We'll have to get through them once the servers come back up live. Next up, we got adjusted resizing to the following mods. JP Enterprises flat top 30mm ring scope. I don't know what any of this means. I don't know what adjusted resizing for the following mods has to do, but there's a bunch of scope mounts in here. So, yeah, take it for what it is. I'm not going to go through all this. It's a bunch of parts that they adjusted the resizing. So I think it has to do with how it changes the size of the weapon. But I'm not 100% sure on that. So like if you put the scope mounts on it, does it make it from a 2x5 to a 3x5 now? I hope not, because that would really be annoying and stupid, but it might. We'll see. Balancing changes to the quests. I don't know what this means. Like, this could mean any number of things. We're just gonna have to wait till the wipe or to the patch to see what it is. But Huntsman Path, Trophy, Sellout, and Woodskeeper all got changed. Hunting Trip got changed. Tourist, Psycho Sniper, Shooterborn in Heaven. God, I hope they didn't make like Shooterborn in Heaven at 125. I enjoyed. I know people didn't like it. 100, fine. But if they made this even easier, I guess great for people that want it easier. But I like it being hard. Put it that way. Tarkov Shooter Part 8. Capturing Outposts, Stylish 1, Farming Part 4, Grenadier, Crisis, Insomnia, So It Good Part 3, Test Drive Part 1, all got adjusted. So we'll have to just see what those are once the patch goes live. And once we get to them, because some of them it'll be a day or two before streamers get them unlocked. Reduced requirements for building level 1 module with level 1 lighting. So it's 20,000 rubles, 1 nut, 1 bolt, 1 metal spare part. Interesting change. We'll see what that is actually boils out to as far as how hard it is to do. The defective wall, which was how they added the workout, the gym last time. It is now, you have to have medblock level 1 and water collector level 1 in order to start it. I don't remember what it was last wipe, to be honest with you. I don't know if it started right away, but this is here right now to do. Gym, added new conditions for module construction. Before you can do the gym, you have to have lighting level 2 and ventilation 2. Again, I don't remember what the ones were from last wipe, but this is what they are now. And then we got a bunch of corrections. They fixed a problem of the client hanging after pressing the back button upon reconnect. This is the matching bug. You couldn't hit back because you'd just be stuck for like 5 minutes. You had to Alt F4. It's been around forever, like for as long as I can remember. So having this fixed is so nice. Such a good fix. I'm so going to be glad that this is fixed, assuming it is. Just good thing. Fixed incorrect display of players' hands when using stationary weapons. Kind of a little bug, but could hang you up. Fixed bugs causing soft locks when using underbarrel grenade launchers. I ran into these a lot at the start of the wipe, screwing around with GLs. Like if you tried to reload grenades out of your backpack, I think is what caused it. You just got locked up. You were frozen and stuck. You had to Alt F4. Fixed missing sound of grenade explosion thrown by bot in some cases. That's good. Silent grenades are always horrible. Fixed incorrect positions of Zarachi and his guards at the raid start, which I guess, that might be when they were standing or something, not sure. Fixed the number of visual artifacts on Streets of Tarkov location. Fixed the number of visual artifacts in Hideout. Fixed incorrect calculation of target visibility through bushes and trees for bots. This is huge. Bots being able to see you through trees and shit. I knew it was a bug. I said it was a bug. People didn't believe me. I'm vindicated. So hopefully bots are a little bit less fucking crazy now, and not shooting you through shit you can't see them back in. Fixed visual artifacts and optics on interchange. Fixed unnatural viewing range when going in and out of aiming with the Berserk perk with the elite skill stress resistance. If you've never seen this, it's wild. It's kind of good that it's been around for a long time, like 4 years, 5 years, I think, as long as the perk's been in there, I believe. But your PMC goes into warp speed. Fucking, it's funny looking. I wish I had a clip of it to show you guys, but I don't. But it's fixed for those that might get Berserk, but that's pretty rare to do. Fixed errors when using the flashlight, IR flashlights, NVG, and thermal images. Good. The fixed bugs that in some cases cause locations to take longer to load. Hopefully that's better load speeds. Fixed the lack of sound when firing the RSP-30, and fixed lack of container looting sound in third person. So this is like if somebody's looting it and it doesn't make any sound. So for you, like you're watching somebody loot, that's what it means in third person, not like there's a third person Tarkov. So that's it. That's all of them. I blasted through the last little bit kind of quick. Get you guys caught up. I'm gonna go get some breakfast and eagerly await the patches to go live, and we'll see you guys in shortly. All right, thanks everybody. Have a good night. Have fun in Tarkov.